back to the Now Morning Show, and if you're just joining us, you missed an incredible performance of Oshun, which actually has to do with the sun, joy and brightness, and shining bright today is my next guest, a blind man with a vision. Omar Harrinanan has recently sit the CSEC exam, and he has done incredibly well, earning himself 2 2s and 6 1s. He is joining me this morning to tell his incredible story and really inspire me this morning, because it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm thrilled to hear your story, Omar. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. I am grateful to be here, and I must say, firstly, you look amazing. Right?
Blind man jokes, right?
No, like, good, great.
So for those who are wondering, in terms of your visual impairment, I suppose, you are completely blind in your right eye.
Yes, I am.
And partially in the left.
Yeah, the left is slight cross-eye, slight retinal detachment, and low vision. A good hand of cards.
Oh boy, a good hand of cards.
Yeah.
Your outlook is so positive, all things considered. And I mean, that is probably a big part of why you have done extremely well on the CSEC exam. Congratulations.
Thank you, but I would say my success is my own, in the sense of throughout the journey, I may not have had resources as in financial or technological as much as others, but I had people, which are great resources in terms of past teachers from both School for Blind to Bonnet, amazing people, love you all. And then I had my aides from Student Support Services who were there and helped me to get notes, went above and beyond to help me to get work done. Right. And then I would have to say one of the greatest set of people I have in my life, hands down, are my friends that I made day one in Bonnet or throughout my journey at Bonnet. That if, again, every day isn't going to be a great day, and everybody might have a little emergency here and there. And the days of where I may not have had an aid for the day, or stress or something in academics was just not really clicking, my friends would have volunteered to help to either read off the board, or even when they go home, take pictures and send it to me. So honestly, my success is also my friends and I would say my quote-unquote people success.
Beautiful. Now, you're talking us through the process of schooling for you being a combination of school, the school for the blind and regular secondary school at Bonnet. Hi. Okay.
Well, before I was on the normal track in terms of the normal system, and I used to go to Malabar RC, and when I was in, I would believe, Standard 3, it happened that I lost the vision in this eye, and this was the eye that I actually could have seen better from. Okay. And then through that is where I met Miss Morris, a great lady, hi, and she helped me to get into School for Blind, where I met amazing people who not only shaped me into the person I am today in terms of maturity and mental fortitude, but also academically. And I was there until I was 16, where I wrote the CSEC examination. And when that happened, I won't lie, it was kind of sad, because I did decently well in the exam. And it so happened that I was put into serval. I'm not saying I cried, but I cried. And from there, I had to stand up for my rights, because I did really well for someone with an impairment 1, and just as a general student. And I'm lucky enough that Bonnet was willing to take the chance, because I understand that, yeah, they may not have had the resources for someone like me, but at least they took the chance. And that's all we really need, is to give someone a chance.
Absolutely.
And from that, 5 years later,
here we are.
Here.
Now, your subject background seems to be leaning towards business. And I know you were telling me before that the next step is actually going to be sixth form.
Yeah. Well, in terms of subject choices, when it came to choosing subjects, I am a logical thinker, in the sense of I was watching all the subjects, and a lot of subjects that I may have loved and liked, I chose rather to be the bigger person and not do them for not myself, but for the benefit of others, in the sense of I really like music. Okay. However, I understand with the way of how the exam is, you may actually have to read and play at the same time. Right. Impossible. And, you know, I made the conscious decision, instead of going into music and maybe being a burden in the sense of holding back class to ask questions because I can't see on the board, and holding back other students, I do not want to be that person. So I went and talked to teachers, and I realized that, you know what, let's go this direction, let's do this. And honestly, it was a great choice, to be fair, because all my teachers are amazing in the sense of they were always willing to conversate with me and try to accommodate me in such a way. And I have teachers that, funny enough, would tell students not to treat me like I'm blind because it's like I'm pretending.
Well, I mean, now that we've gotten these incredible results, there must be some questions.
Well, yeah, I questioned myself as well. Like, I wasn't sure at first, but...
But what you've described sounds like you are not at all a burden. You are talking about, or rather said to me, that seeing the board was difficult. So you would have had those sorts of relationships with teachers, regardless of the subject choice.
In the past 5 years, I have not seen a word on the board, like physically.
Right.
But so through my friends, there's a guy who was sitting down next to me for the past 5 years, from day one at Bonnie, Joshua Lewis. Good morning, brother. He is an amazing young man. Was there for me every step of the way, emotionally, mentally, and academically. And the days where, again, everybody is human, and we always have those moments where, why do this, or why continue, why should I go? He was there to always push me forward, just like the rest of my friends, who I was also there for.
Right.
A unity.
It had to be, because you are, as you said, overcoming some incredible challenges, not just in the sense of your impairment, but generally learning through this pandemic and operating through this pandemic must have had its additional challenges for you. Were there things that particularly stood out in terms of challenges with the pandemic?
Honestly, it was hell. But I am not a person, I try not to complain, because you can't complain about things that can't change. And honestly, you would just stress out yourself, and you'll become fed up and down and ugly.
You're good.
I rather, you know what, there's a problem, sit down, you do the human thing, you curl a little bit, and then you try to come up with a way to go around said problem and try to still push forward. So even with the pandemic, I may not have had the best computer in the world, and at times I may have to, at a certain point, I had to get up like early to put the laptop on like an hour before, just to make sure it'll load up so that it won't crash when I'm trying to learn Zoom, because things happen. Right. Sometimes during class, the laptop may have blue screen, and I'll be like, oh God, man. But again, things happen, and they happen to the best of us. And once you realize that, hey, instead of giving up and saying, well, that is that, let me go and sleep, just go. Like, nothing, the only thing that could stop you is you. And I have a teacher, Miss Emmons. She said she's staying home to watch this. Morning, miss. Have a good day at work. And I'm not really an open person in terms of I won't tell everybody everything. Right. They have to talk to me. I don't go, I believe that you shouldn't boast or anything, because I do not feel like I'm better than anybody in that sense. However, if you want to know anything about me, all you have to do is ask. And I was at this point in time, right before exams, where I still don't know where I want to go in life in terms of career. And I was like, miss, where's your opinion of what I should go? And she literally said the best words that I could ever hear, that convinced that my way of thinking is probably the best way for me. And she said that I could be whatever I want and do whatever I want, because the only person who can limit me is me. And that is just shows that my way of thinking, that why try to be the best in the world at this, or why try to be like this person when I could just be the best me.
The best Omar there is.
I am the best Omar in my opinion.
Of course.
And as I tell my friends, I am the best Omar you guys know, and all the rest of them are imitations. So
I don't know. With all the chat in the world, you have to tell me what is happening next, because you said you at one point were unsure as to what to do next,
like
career-wise.
Like everybody else, you would be unsure with every step of the way. But I really don't think too far in the future, because I like to live in the moment. I like that rush. Risk is fun. Life is fun when you accept the risk. And well, as it stands now, because I was always, I did this exam, and I will be honest with you, with everything that I went through in terms of academics, and then with the pandemic and everything, I was aiming for 5 subjects, including maths and English, all 3s. That was my plan.
Really?
That is all. I didn't care about 2s. I didn't care about the 8 subjects. I didn't care about 1s. I just wanted to say that I'm 20 years of age, right? And the journey has been hard. I can't say it was easy. But at that point in time, I always said that I'm too old to still be in secondary school in a sense and come this far to just fail. Right. So at least I have to pass, and then, well, things happen and I get what I get. And so the plan right now is to apply for A-levels. So far I have applied at BATSI to do information technology, computer science, and MOB. And hopefully they accept me. I have other schools that I would like to send in applications to. However, I am fully prepared mentally if they don't come together. Again, not everything in life is promised, which is great. And when that time comes, if I happen not to be accepted, I would just make a plan, a new plan accordingly. Right. We just go with the flow.
You have an incredible vision for a man with an impairment.
Maybe.
And thank you very much for joining us this morning. I am absolutely certain you have inspired many, me included, as we continue to cheer you on. We're going to find out what happens next. And as much as you say you don't use the Facebook, but you're on social media, we will find you and we'll keep up with your story.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that we've inspired you this morning. This was Omar Harrinanan, Mr. 2 2s and 6 1s at the CSEC exam with visual impairment. And if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. We'll come back with more after this right here on the Now Morning Show.
Can't take my joy from me. No way, die why all the lie, them lie.